MFA updates.
Good morning สวัสดีค่ะ Welcome to MFA Update with me พนิกนิชาไกรฤกษ์ This is a weekly program that focuses on Thailand's international affairs and activities. And today I bring you to Kun Marati Nalita Andamo, Director of the News Division, Department of Information, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. She will inform us about engaging international media on
APEC.The Foreign Affairs That Matter. Special guests from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the MFA Updates.
สวัสดีค่ะคุณมาราตี
สวัสดีค่ะคุณขิม
Why is engaging the media, especially international media, important for Thailand as APEC host?
Yes, well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on the program. I'm a big fan, so it's a pleasure for me to be here with you. On the issue of international media and engaging them, let me start by saying that the Information Department at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is actually responsible for communicating Thailand's foreign policy to the public. So we are in the business of public diplomacy, and we do that for the reason that's very important, which is to ensure understanding and support for our policies and, in fact, to engage with the public. So in this host year of APEC, we believe that a large part of the success as hosts, meaning our success in reaching those goals and objectives we set for ourselves, will depend exactly on that, on communicating and engaging the public. This year, in fact, we view media particularly as an important partner for us as APEC hosts, and we are very keen to engage them in order to help us to communicate clearly the key messages of our host year. They will be asking, we believe, the right questions in order to ensure that APEC's work is impactful and it's meaningful for the people in the region for whom this year must matter the most. And by people, I mean business entrepreneurs, large and small, the private sector as a whole, youth, startups, women. These are all very important segments of our society, and truly these are stakeholders who have a key role to play in post-COVID economic recovery, which is not only the aim for APEC this year, but I believe for the international community as a whole.
Could you share with us your plan to engage international media for APEC 2022?
Yes, of course, I'd be very, very pleased to do so. Although we are still very much in the beginning of the year, we have already actually begun rolling out that plan to engage international media. So in terms of physical activities, we had the great pleasure actually of co-hosting with the FCCT, or the Foreign Correspondents Club of Thailand, a panel discussion back in January of this year on how APEC is poised to, or rather aims to drive post-COVID economic recovery. It was an early event considering the APEC Leaders Week takes place, as you know, later on this year in November. But we thought it was important to get the conversation started, specifically on our objectives for the year, and to hear from the perspective of the APEC Business Advisory Council, who is also on the panel, as well as the business owner, on how they viewed economic recovery post-COVID. For the rest of the year, we also plan to have many more events, such as the event at the FCCT, if they will have us, of course, and another set of activities that we're planning to engage international media is what we call the APEC Media Focus Groups. We have hosted a couple of them already this year, and we're hosting a third one next month in April at the EEC, or the Eastern Economic Corridor. So what these APEC media focus groups are really a platform for media to engage with public representatives of line agencies as well as the private and other sectors depending on the topic or what we call the media focus for that session. So again, next month at the end of April, we'll be taking a group of interested international and, as a matter of fact, Thai media as well to visit the EEC and learn about different initiatives there to promote sustainability or the BCG economic model, which I'm sure everyone has been following and has heard of as being one of the key approaches that Thailand will advance this year within the APEC goals. So we hope it will be a successful event, and we will have many such APEC media focus groups throughout the year set on different topics, as I said, that will be aligned with what is being discussed at the APEC meetings throughout the year.
All right, interesting. So what are the expected outcomes of these activities?
Yes, we are really hoping that these activities will lead to, first and foremost, the public being involved and being engaged, because it gives more meaning and impact to what we are trying to advance and achieve in the APEC meetings. We believe that we need to connect what is being discussed and negotiated in APEC with what is happening on the ground, meaning with businesses, with youth, with women entrepreneurs, and the international media will be that critical tool for us in making that connection and amplifying our messages and our impact. And if I could very quickly share with you our second and equally important expected outcome is for us to really get the international media to take a look at Thailand as APEC host economy through the lens of the new normal, through the lens of sustainability, and through the lens of post-COVID recovery, what we are doing and how other APEC economies can move forward together, which we very much hope to do once we achieve endemic status for COVID-19, of course, in the country.
Mm-hmm. Can the general public participate in these activities?
Yes, definitely, and we really hope that they do. The FCCT event and future such events are always live on the Facebook pages of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the FCCT, and also we have an APEC dedicated Facebook page. That's APEC 2022 Thailand. Also for the APEC media focus groups, we are aiming to engage not only with media, but also with different sectors of society. So, for instance, in our later AMF events, there will be one focused on youth, on startups, on businesses, on women scholars, scientists, and we very much aim to be able to invite representatives of those sectors. The public can also certainly keep tabs on these activities and APEC in general, and what else is happening through the official APEC channels on the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs at mfa.go.th. Of course, the official APEC website, that's apec.org. And also we have a Thailand APEC website, which is apec2022.go.th. And for those who are more comfortable on social media accounts, we certainly have an IG account and all of those other accounts available as well. So please look for us in social media and online.
So many channels to access and reach for more details and for more information about APEC.
Yes.
And how many foreign journalists, correspondents, do you expect to participate during the APEC Economic Leaders Week in November?
Yes. Well, first of all, we are very much looking forward to welcoming everyone to Thailand, as this would be, I believe, the first physical APEC leaders meeting in a couple of years due to COVID. I might mention as well that we are also expecting to hold a CEO forum at around the same time, which is expected to draw in some of the top business leaders from our member economies, from the APEC member economies. That time, we will also be looking to the G20 to be held in Jakarta and the ASEAN Summit in Cambodia around that time. So there will be quite a bit of buzz, a bit of media attention in the region. I would approximately put that number at around the thousands, if not more. And this would include, of course, different international media agencies as well as the media delegations that will be coming with the member economies themselves. So I'm sure it will be a very busy time with a lot of media attention, not only on Thailand but on the region in general. So we are looking forward to that event very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So would you like to leave the message?
A final message only to share, I think, what everyone hopes would be a smooth and successful series of meetings throughout the year for APEC, and really to get the public involved in what we're doing and what's happening in those meetings and where we're headed post-COVID. I think public engagement is probably the critical and the key element in making all of this a success. So I hope to see public engaged. I hope to see everyone logging in on the websites and following us throughout the year. Thank you so much for having me on the program today.
All right. Thank you very much for joining me in this program. Thank you very much. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
MFA updates.
That was Kun Marati Nalita Andamore, Director of the News Division, Department of Information, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. Don't forget to follow the YouTube channel MFA Thailand and Facebook page FM88 Radio Thailand English for more updates. I'm Kimmy or Kim Panik Nisha Grairuk. See you again until next time. สวัสดีค่ะ
MFA updates.